Hello, lovely people. So, I'm here to talk about the EU referendum very quickly and why it's pissing me off. It's surprising, it's shocking how ignorant people can be. People say that the EU is undemocratic in itself. And while it's true that most of the bodies of the EU are actually unelected, there is one body called the EU Parliament, which we do elect directly every 5 years. But in the UK in 2014, only 35% of the electorate actually bothered to vote. So you're on the one hand complaining how undemocratic it is, but you're also complaining about, but you're also not even voting when you're given the chance. And you have to look at it from this point as well. We have very little that actually holds our government to account. The House of Lords can only delay bills for a year. The monarch can't do anything. We as the people can't do anything, and referendums are not even binding. There's nothing apart from EU laws that actually hold our government to account. Another argument is that people always say, oh, the NHS, like, all this money could go towards the NHS. Again, fucking bullshit, okay? Ever since the Tory government, they have clearly made it in their proposals that they want to privatize the NHS. How do you think that's going to help the common man, the working class, in this country by privatizing it? And the EU is the only thing that holds them to account because we need to have a universal healthcare system. Now I want to talk about immigration. So we have two types of immigration, clearly. We have immigrants coming from outside of Europe and the ones that are coming from inside of Europe. And the first thing that I want to say quickly about the ones outside of Europe is that we have no sense of solidarity for these people, although we're the ones bombing them at the moment. We need to accept our responsibility. And when I say our responsibility, I don't even mean a responsibility as a European country or as a member of the EU. We have a UN Declaration of Human Rights, and according to it, which the UK is a signatory, we must accept all refugees. They are allowed to seek a decent life and freedom from oppression and war, etc. Actually, if you look at statistics, they put in more to our system than they take out. But I think it's a problem with us. We're selfish. We seem to think that, okay, we have it pretty good, and we're not going to share that with anyone. And that's not on, especially because we're quite lucky that we were born in a country that is flourishing economically at the moment. We're quite lucky that we're not born in a war-torn country. We're quite lucky that we're not politically oppressed, that we're not, I don't know, that there's no genocide in this country. It's like, oh, our schools, our hospitals, our houses, our jobs. Bullshit. No matter how many people come to this country, you still have your house, you still have your job, you still have your education. You have everything. But these people leaving their houses, leaving their homes, their home countries, their cultures, their language, their family, everything they have, they leave behind. They come all the way here to get a decent life so they can work hard and they get something for it. And that's it. 60% of migrants that actually come to the UK already have a job lined up. In the late 1960s, so this was before we joined the EU, Britain went through two major banking crises. And it led us to ask to join the EU 3 times. And very graciously, they let us join. And immediately after that, we had an economic boost. You know, now, like 40 years later, it's okay for us just to say, fuck it, right? Because that's what the Leave campaign is all about. The Leave campaign is all about giving less, it's about taking more, and it's about being really fucking selfish.